Hello everyone, this is Juniorfan, and today is the start of a mini-series of videos of which I will be doing entitled the Erik Mokracek Chronicles. In this part of the mini-series, I will be showcasing and introducing who Erik Mokracek is briefly, and what kind of videos he makes, which in my personal opinion are some of the most recycled, tedious, dragged out, and most asinine concepts for videos I have ever seen, which are very lackadaisical, and piss-poor editing skills on videos and pictures that he spends maybe 10 minutes tops on with Windows Movie Maker and MS Paint. Erik Mokracek is a 35-year-old YouTuber who is known as MGHS Hour 2A. He has a very bad reputation on websites and groups such as Yahoo's CLG group, YouTube, and various other sites. This guy has a compulsive obsession with using animated children from various children's programming in his videos, as that is what makes up at least 95% of his 1,100 plus videos that are archived in his channel, which to me is pretty damn creepy if someone was to look at the channel for the first time, which will happen. His concept for videos, in a nutshell, contain the following. Characters he has a hard-on for getting involved with idents that he created through his quote-unquote revival of the classic, or extremely outdated local idents with graphics that were used on television in 1970s and 1980s. Game shows that have no purpose to exist, promos like the game shows that have no purpose to exist, or situations where the animated children are used and absolutely forced to go someplace in the most awkward and half-assed way that makes it a misrepresentation, in some cases a mockery of what they are supposed to represent, which makes the videos not only galactically retarded, but makes you want to scratch your head and wonder, okay, what in the ever name of everything that has fuck and holy as an adjective was the point of this? Some rejected 80s animated girl that was a cutout and paste by MS Paint in a matter of seconds to look like she was a cardboard cutout that went to some local gas station in New Jersey to get a freaking candy bar? Again, who in their right mind, other than a child, would make something as ridiculous as this? Also, when I mention how repetitive and recycled his videos are, he not only does the same videos like he made with his Naughty and Nice List videos, which he did two in a matter of one day, but also the character images and screenshots are for the most part singletary, and are equivalent to watching a much crappier version of Groundhog Day, except with animated kids whose proportions don't even match up with the background pic it is shown half the frickin' time. In fact, the cartoon's emotions through the same still images in the various situations don't even look like how they are supposed to represent emotionally. What I talked about his editing skills being lackadaisical earlier is true. In fact, he is so lazy that for one day of videos, all he did was just copy and paste his Naughty and Nice List videos with the We Are the Real Kids video, with just taking out the music, taking out a couple text boxes from the Naughty and Nice List video, with the We Are the Real Kids text below the recycled cartoon monstrosity. Wow! What genius editing this is! Besides that, his MS Paint skills are absolutely foobarred, and you would think it was some 5-year-old that would have made some of these backgrounds and pics. Also, there are extenuating gaps between the video, as a simple vid that should last maybe 2.5 minutes are dragged on for nearly 14 minutes because of him just manufacturing the projection, and that's it, as the static image lasts for 11 minutes without anything else going on in the video, forcing people to skip through the video. To conclude this intro, let me just say there is a guy that hates Erik's content and attitude so much that he has made a channel and Google Plus group dedicated to boycotting him. In the end, I would say he is slightly better than Dwayne McAllen, as he actually manages to edit his content and he doesn't produce videos every single day, as I assume he actually does have somewhat of a life, and not being stuck where making videos becomes toxic or forces him to get help from taxpayers even though he is physically mentally able to work. Still, his videos are absolutely painful to watch, and only worth watching for curiosity reasons. This is part 1 of the Erik Mokracek Chronicles, and part 2 through 4 will be actual commentaries. Until then, this is Juniorfan out.
Well, here we are again. Only this time I'm not ranting on a particular topic. This time I'm actually doing an unscripted commentary on somebody. And if you couldn't tell by the intro sequence, I think you know who I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and give you his full, entire goddamn name. Erik Tasman, Match Game Hollywood Squares Hour 2A Mokracek. A.K.A. Kimberly 1798 or whatever fucking goddamn hell his name is on whatever fucking venue he's on. For those of you who don't know who he is, let's go ahead and take a little journey back. Let's go back to about 2004, I believe. A little website known as the CLG Video Network. I'm sure you've all heard of this. It's the website dedicated to the ending trademarks and watermarks and closing logos of all time. You know, 1950 to now. Something that my friend Youngblood Fantasy is talking about. However, there is one festering little problem that has just been festering and festering and festering. And I'm using the same word again, but goddammit, he's a festering nuisance that's pissing me off to no end. And his name happens to be Erik Tasman Mokracek. In case you couldn't tell by the intro sequence, I fucking hate his videos because of one simple little thing. Classics. This is all he's known for, folks. This guy thinks it's a great thing to live in childhood and reminisce about yesterday's stuff. You know, like old television shows, old game shows, but not just that. Let's also talk about old radio stations, old toy stores, old department stores, old foods that have been discontinued, old drinks that have been discontinued, old cartoons that don't even air anymore. And hey, let's make a bunch of fake IDs to go along with it. Yeah. Have you wrapped your head around all this shit? This is exactly what he does. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and state something that I've already stated to him 1,000 times over, and yet he still does the shit this very day because the fact he doesn't like criticism. His videos fucking suck. All 1,000 of them. And they all happen to be the same carbon copy swill that he's been shitting out since 2005. Everything from television network IDs that make no fucking sense whatsoever to TV shows that he made up that doesn't really make fucking sense to movie trailers that make no fucking sense. And you know, it's funny. This is starting to sound awfully familiar. This is starting to sound like somebody I've already went after a long time ago. I believe his name was like Club Penguin 792, maybe Cool and Sexy Ricks. Only difference is, this guy is 35 fucking years old, whereas they were a bunch of 13-year-old trolls. This ought to tell you how sad this guy really is. I mean, for God's sakes, you could look up on the Kiwi farms about this guy. You could look up his name on Google and find a whole bunch of fucking shit. But I guarantee you the shit you'll find is absolutely atrocious and will make you regret the day you ever thought about looking up a closing logo. Pretty sad when you think about it. But let's take a minute and look back at Erik Mokracek for just one moment, shall we? No. Get that shit off there. I don't want to see that fucking shit. I'm talking about looking at what he's done. This whole classics thing that he does. This whole idealization that television from the past needs to be the norm. Radio stations of the past need to be the norm. Department stores of the past need to be the norm. Forget all the new age stuff. It has to be this way or no way at all. You criticize him on that shit, you know what he's going to do? He's going to start running his mouth over and over and over and over, saying things like, "You can't say that shit about me because this is my job, this is what I do, and I'm right, you're wrong, I don't give a shit what you think." That is Erik Mokracek right there. And I'm going to tell you this right now, Erik, if you're listening to this, I hope you realize that I'm criticizing you, and I don't care what you think. You can sit there and run your mouth about how it's a God-given right to do whatever the hell you want, but at the end of the day, people are going to criticize you, and you need to pull your head out of your fucking ass and realize that. This is what commentaries do to help people improve, folks. But guys like this prove that they don't give a shit what you think. It kind of goes back to somebody that I know from the past named Home of the Good Guys. I was going to do a commentary on him, but then I realized they were beating a dead horse at this point. And you know, come to think of it, this guy is everything like Home of the Good Guys. I mean, seriously, all he cares about is classic children's shows, putting those characters into shit we don't want to see, like fake game shows and fake television IDs, which, by the way, he's made over 1,000 of these things, and it just gets more and more and more annoying to see recommended to you, recommended to you, recommended to you. I don't want to watch that shit, and I don't care if he can sit there and say, well, it's my God-given right to recommend this shit to you. No, fuck you. You have no right to recommend your stupid fucking bullshit when we don't want to watch your shit. And by the way, nobody is watching your shit. The only people that are watching it are the people that are going to criticize you. You know, I just remembered something. He does the same shit on Facebook and Yahoo groups as well. He also hawks his stupid fucking nostalgia groups all over the goddamn internet as if you have to see this shit. It's like, can you follow this group? Follow this group while you're at it. Follow this group while you're at it. Oh, follow this group, by the way. By the way, get me up to this much because I want people to realize that everything is so fucking great. Everything is so fucking awesome. I make the best shit in the world. No, you're clogging up the goddamn internet with your fucking shit. It's like you're just a constipated asshole and that you just want to shit everything out in one big fucking plop of diarrhea bullshit. If you've seen this guy shit, it's foul, it's festering, and you don't want to see it. Nobody remembers Montgomery Ward. Nobody remembers Eckerd. Nobody remembers KB Toys unless you were from the 80s and 90s like I was. And nobody remembers Child World. Come to think of it, all these discontinued stores and whatnot, nobody cares. Nobody. And this whole idealization about these TV shows and these TV networks and everything like that. Oh, bring this back, bring this back, bring this back. That's what we got TV Land, Me TV, and Decades for. Oh, but on Classics, it's like, fuck TV Land, fuck Me TV, fuck Decades. Here on Classics, this is what we bring back. We bring back everything. Discontinued restaurants, discontinued stores, discontinued radio stations, along with discontinued game shows and everything like that. But TV Land, fuck TV Land. Seriously, this is what the guy does, and he needs to be exposed for the sorry piece of shit he fucking is. Oh, and then he's gonna go on a tangent and probably remove this video because I'm proving a goddamn point. The truth of the matter is this, Erik. Nobody at the CLG cared. If they cared, they would have followed you to the bitter end. But, you know, after 2007, 2008, they kind of fell off and went to do their own things. Kind of like me. You know how I usually post my shit on YouTube? I do it because I want to do it for my fans. That's kind of how all the other ones did. That's how Steel K9 went. That's how K-Star went. That's how John Coffey Motion Pictures went. That's how DLC Organization went. Everybody on the CLG went their separate ways, and we come back every so often just to, do our thing. But you, on the other hand, you sit there and do the same fucking shit every goddamn day of your life as if it's a fucking job. Erik, it's not a job. It's not paying the bills. You're fucking sitting on your ass doing nothing with your life. I told you this before in a fucking comment I left on your goddamn channel, and I'm surprised you didn't listen to it. If you'd listened very closely and realized that I was trying to help you instead of, blocking me on Facebook like you did, it proves one thing to me. You don't care. You'd rather live in a fucking fantasy world where you're the lollipop king and we're all just a bunch of freaking suckers to you. Yeah, I know. I'm quoting the same thing I said to you a couple months back. And you know what's really sad? Looking at all this shit that you post and everything like that, you're no different than Christian. You're not. I mean, look at you. You share the same goddamn traits. You post shit that nobody wants to see, and then you start ranting and raving when people call you out and criticize you over it. Seriously. Reevaluate your life, and maybe, just maybe, take a walk outside. Go walk around. Get some fresh air or something like that. Because this idealization that Classics has everything that the world could ask for is not going anywhere. It's not. You could sit there and say it over and over and over and over and over and over again like a goddamn broken record. But the truth of the matter is this, Erik. Nobody cares about Classics. Nobody ever did. Nobody is ever going to care. get on with your fucking life, move on, and just fucking end your goddamn run. Besides, I've seen your fucking channel. You have an obsession with children passing gas. And you also share stories about how you like to sit with little girls at birthday parties and bowling parties and everything like that. I told you before, man, that makes you look like a goddamn pedophile. If you like to live in that idealization, seek help, please, for the love of God. So that's it. That's all I gotta say. I'm done talking about this motherfucker, and all I gotta say is this, folks. If you want to see the bullshit he's done, I'm going to leave you a link to his YouTube channel, and you can criticize him as well to show that this guy needs to improve his act right here, right now. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Classic sucks. Erik sucks. And by the way, nobody remembers Sylvanian families, and nobody fucking cares about it. Stop flooding the internet with your bullshit.